Zorn reinstated as the quarterback. Sherman Smith, David Hughes, the running backs. The receivers, Paul Johns, Mike Tice, and Steve Largent. The offensive line, Ron Essick, Edwin Bailey, John Yarno, Robert Pratt, Steve August is back in good graces with the Seahawks ball club. An awful lot of changes for Seattle. Zorn to put it up. Goes to the sideline. A flag goes down. Pass interference, I believe, is going to be the call. Jim Zorn to Steve Largent, the man in the area on that far side, I believe was Mike Davis. It is holding against the Raiders. Mistakes and penalties have killed Los Angeles thus far in 1982. The most penalized team in all of football. 392 yards in penalties coming into this one. Let's listen.
Holding, number 37, defense, automatic first down.
Well, it's against Lester the molester. An automatic first down, moves the ball out across the 20-yard line. Call it to 23, 1st and 10 Seahawks. The defensive line for the Raiders, Browning, Kinlaw, and Alzado. John Matuzak is out with that bad back. The linebackers, well, look at that group. Hendricks, Millen, Bob Nelson, and Rod Martin. And the defensive backs, Hayes, Ted Watts, Mike Davis, and Burgess Owens. Owens back from that shoulder injury sustained a couple of weeks ago against San Diego. He and Kellen Winslow collided down about the 10-yard line.
Phil, in that last play, that penalty, that was a situation where Zorn threw the ball before his receiver was even ready. The fact that Lester Hayes was called for a penalty really wasn't his fault because the receiver was still coming down the field. He saw the ball coming out, and he tried to respond to the football. One of those strange situations. Oakland is certainly going to try to contain Jim Zorn. That's going to be the #1 target on defense today.
1st and 10, pitch right. Sherman Smith. And he will not get outside. Dives across the 25 out near the 27-yard line. A pickup of approximately 5. Burgess Owens on the tackle. Jim Zorn, when this season began, was the #2 quarterback behind Dave Craig. Jack Patera said quite simply, Craig had the much better preseason. He will be our starting quarterback. During the strike, Patera took leave. McCormick was instated as what is being called the interim coach, and he immediately reinstalled Zorn. In motion, Hughes. The pitch near side. Smith is cut behind the line of scrimmage and down just across the 20-yard line. Matt Millen, the inside linebacker on the left side, moves across to make the stop.
Matt Millen does such a fantastic job of plugging those running plays up the middle. You know, they describe Matt Millen, number 55, as a stand-up defensive tackle. And when you see him in person, you can understand why. He is one big man.
Well, Matt Millen had weight problems, if you recall, back in 1980 with the Super Bowl champion Steelers. Or the Raiders, pardon me. He weighed about 20 pounds more than he does now. 3rd and 11, Zorn to the air. And it is overthrown. The intended receiver, Paul Johns. Mike Davis, step for step with him. The Seahawks will have to give up the ball.
That's the situation where the Seahawks are going to have to be successful. Talk to some of the Raiders before the game, and they say that's what they have to shut down. When Zorn goes on that rollout, sometimes he'll fake the draw on that sprint draw, but he buys an awful lot of time for his receivers and requires the defensive backs to really be on their toes because they have to cover the offensive receivers for a lot longer time.
Jeff West to kick it away, averaging about 39 yards a punt. This is short one. Greg Pruitt will call for the fair catch at the 45. And Los Angeles with excellent field position now as they'll take the ball for the first time today. A 33-yard punt by West. Here's the way the Raiders will come at him offensively. Plunkett, Marcus Allen, and Kenny King, the running backs. The receivers, Cliff Branch, Todd Christensen, the tight end, and Malcolm Barnwell, the other wide receiver. The offensive line, Davis, Marsh, Dave Dalby, Mickey Marvin, and the veteran, 9 years, Henry Lawrence. Jim Plunkett last week treated rather rudely by that Bengal defensive line. Here comes Marcus Allen right through the left side, following Kurt Marsh and Bruce Davis through the left side. He'll pick up a few. Manu Tuiasosopo played his college ball right here on the same stadium turf on the stop. The Seattle defense, and as Gene was talking about at the top of our telecast, boy, what a job they have done since the walkout ended. Green, Hardy, Tuiasosopo, Jeff Bryant, 3 number 1 draft choices in that group. Bruce Schultz, Michael Jackson, Keith Butler, the linebackers. The defensive back, Simpson, Brown, Dufek playing for an injured Kenny Easley, and John Harris is the other safety. 2nd down and 6. The pitch, Kenny King, and he will be hit and dropped. Michael Jackson on the stop with help from Bruce Schultz.
Well, Phil, the key to the Raiders, well, I guess, loss last week against Cincinnati was that they were not able to control the line of scrimmage. Oftentimes we hear that. What that means is that the other team's defensive line is beating your offensive line. You have to move the offense from where the ball is down the field. That's what controlling the offensive line of scrimmage means. The Raiders are going to have to do that, but they're up against one of the best groups right now.
3rd and 5 out of the I formation. The pitch to Marcus Allen. He's across midfield, running with it. The move he put on Don Dufek. He could go. A 33-yard run by the rookie out of USC, and that certainly delights the partisan crowd here at the Coliseum, where Marcus played for the USC Trojans. He's done that more times than you like to think about.
Well, he's done it this way here at USC. Gets that pitch, student body right. Lots of blockers out in front. There's 33, Kenny King. He misses, but he gets the man out of the way anyway. Look at the move that Marcus Allen puts on the defender. Looks an awful like O.J. Simpson, but that given the right, come back to the left. You mentioned before, he doesn't have blazing speed, but he has the ability to make the defender miss.
33-yard run to the Seahawks, 17-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders. King through the right side. And he is hit just at the 14-yard line by Jacob Green. Green, number 79, the big defensive end who stopped Terry Bradshaw, the only sack a week ago against the Steelers, but it was a big sack for Seattle and a very critical play for the Steeler organization, Gene.
Well, we heard a lot of talk before the season started about Oakland changing their offense, adapting to new passing systems and so forth. But as you watch this team, they're still the same Raiders. They run the same plays, both running plays and pass plays. They try to beat you with their personnel.
Plunkett to put it up. And he'll go down. Fumble on the play. It is recovered by Henry Lawrence, 9th year out of Florida A&M. Mano. Tuiasosopo on the hit. That's the 8th sack of the year for the Seahawks team.
Well, in this play, Jim is going to look like the punter at Miami when he tried to throw the ball, and it just simply slips out of his hand as he was bringing the ball back. Watch, as he's bringing the ball back to throw it, it's just going to slip out of his hand. Look at that. It's warm out here, but it isn't that warm.
3rd down, 18. Clock running, 10 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. No score from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Plunkett to put it in the air again. He's going for it. Christensen, the tight end, way overthrown. Great coverage by Dave Brown, the right corner for Seattle. How can a team, Gene, that just could not get it together at all the first 2 games of this 1982 season come back and be playing such strong defense these last 2 ball games?
Well, if anyone knew the answer to that question, you know, they could make an awful lot of money by writing a book about it, right? But you look at this football team, I did their games during the preseason. You know that they have good personnel. They just couldn't get it together. But I think the fact that Jim Zorn is playing so well on offense inspires the defense. We hear a lot about how well the defense is doing, but I think they get inspired by the fact that their offense is moving the ball and getting some points on the board.
Charge timeout. Seattle, number 1.
Well, Chris Barr is on to attempt a field goal with 10 minutes, 16 seconds to play at the Coliseum. No score. 43 yards. Mark Wilson's hold is down. And I believe he got it with room to spare. No, wide left. Wide left for Chris Barr. So his 3rd miss of the year. Seattle will have the ball for the 2nd time in this contest. From their own 25-yard line. We'll be back. The Seahawks with the ball for the 2nd time in this ball game. They'll start from just inside their own 25-yard line. From the I formation. Largent in motion to the top of your screen. Sherman Smith, running room just across the 25. You know, I'm a little surprised Seattle is trying to run the ball even early in the ball game with the passing offense. They have picked up 72% of their total yards through the air, and Oakland's pass defense is dead last in the AFC.
Well, I'm sure that head coach Mike McCormick there knows that, but in order to pass the ball effectively, particularly with the scheme that Seattle uses, they have to be able to run that sprint draw. For the defense to react to that draw, they have to be able to run the ball at least fairly well. So they still have to establish a run in order to be able to pass effectively.
2nd and 9, Zorn right over the middle, and it's overthrown. An end-over-end pass. Pressure there from number 75, Howie Long. Ted Watts running step for step with Largent.
Well, again, Zorn and Largent really not connecting. This ball is thrown much before Largent expects it. You'll see that the ball is there, back to the outside, not where Zorn thought he was going to be. That's number 20, Ted Watts, who's playing ahead of Monty Jackson for the Raiders and doing a very good job. And Ted Watts is going to be in that position for a long time. He's just an outstanding defender.
3rd down, just a little more than 9 yards to go. Dornick in motion. Zorn drills this one right to Dornick, and he cannot hold on. He had about 2 steps on the Stork, and he simply couldn't hold it. So Jeff West on to kick it away. Final score, San Diego over the Cleveland Browns at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, 30-13. Miami winning over Bud Grant's Vikings, 22-14. Houston upending the New York Giants. No, it is 17-14 Giants. Another short kick. Pruitt at the 45. Oh, and he's hit right away. A 30-yard punt. So again, the Raiders, excellent field position midway through the first period. Better than he has on the first 2 series for Seattle. Plunkett play action. He's looking no place else but Marcus Allen, who is wide open. Allen simply sprinted out of the backfield, unmolested all the way down to the Seahawks 45-yard line. Michael Jackson, the middle linebacker, on the stop.
Well, 2 things happening. Play action to Kenny King. Plunkett has all day to throw the ball. You can see number 55, Michael Jackson, sprinting out of there, trying to get out to the flat because that was his responsibility, but he was held by the play fake. Once he saw Plunkett faking the ball, he just hightailed it out there, but it was too late. Marcus Allen sitting out there for the reception. I think that's 20 this year for Marcus Allen.
2nd and short yardage. Allen again. He'll be stopped just shy of the first down. Jeff Bryant, Manu Tuiasosopo on the stop on the right side. Other scores around the National Football League today. St. Louis down the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia, their 2nd straight loss, 23-20 Cardinals. Green Bay over Buffalo. Look at that surprise, 33-21. I think Bart Starr's got a football team, Green Bay, this year. Tampa Bay down Bum Phillips, New Orleans Saints, 13-10. Chicago over New England, 26-13. And Pittsburgh coming back from that loss last week at the Kingdome in Seattle. Cincinnati is leveling Baltimore in the 4th period. Kenny King through the right side into the secondary. He cannot escape the grasp of Don Dufik. Dufik, we will tell you once more, playing for the injured Kenny Easley. It was thought a couple of days ago that Easley might play today.
Well, number 33, Kenny King, gets an awful good block. It's hard to see it from number 32, Marcus Allen. These 2 guys are both outstanding runners. They have different running styles. Kenny King is very explosive. Marcus Allen is elusive, but they block for each other. That is
the I formation. This is what Marcus loves to run the sweep out of. Play action. Marcus out of the backfield again. This time the throw is to Christensen, and he's inside the Seahawks 25-yard line. A completion of 13 yards before the corner on the left side. Keith Simpson can get there to bring him down.
Well, Jacob Green, number 79, is going to put some pressure on Plunkett, but Plunkett is rolling out to the right side. You see Henry Lawrence. He's trying to keep Jacob out of the way. A little flake fake with the hand. Plunkett gets out. He buys a lot of time. That allows Christensen to go down, come back out to the flat area, which was cleared out by number 80, Malcolm Barnwell. He just took Keith Simpson out of the way. Christensen got out there and there was no one around.
First and 10, 24 again. Play action. Frees the linebackers. This is Marcus at the 23. No room at all to put a fake on Michael Jackson. A flag down on the far side of the field, just on the 20-yard line. Mickey Marvin is signaling it is against Seattle, and it is. Holding Seahawks. There's McCarter, the referee today. This is something Seattle has not done a lot of this year, Gene, and that is make critical mistakes inside the 20.
Number 44, defense, automatic first down.
A big first down for the Raiders. First quarter score in Denver, Atlanta, and the Broncos deadlocked at 7. First and 10, ball 18-yard line of Seattle. No score. 6 minutes, 22 seconds to play. He gets through there in a hurry. Bruce Schultz finally downs him at the 10-yard line. We were talking about his explosiveness just about a minute ago.
He gets off the mark in a hurry, but look at the blocks he gets from that offensive line. On the left side, Kurt Marsh, number 60, the first rookie to ever start in the Raiders offensive line since guess who Gene Upshaw did it many years ago. Bruce Davis, a tackle on that side, and Dave Dalby, the center. They really just opened the way for Kenny King.
Now, Kurt Marsh learned from the best. He learned from Gene Upshaw. From the I formation, second and short, Hawkins. And he'll get the first down. Frank Hawkins, second year out of Nevada, Reno. He is the short yardage guy. Joe Nash on the stop with help from Robert Hardy. A first and goal for Los Angeles.
Well, Mike McCormick obviously is very concerned because the Raiders, not only are they moving the ball down the field, but they're eating up the clock, keeping that defense out there. And I've played in this Coliseum an awful lot of times, where I tell you the second half, it can really be rough. The field is a little soft, your legs get more tired, it's a little warm. But Seahawk defense needs to get off the field.
Hawkins tries to get outside, will not be able to do it. He's hit at the line of scrimmage by Bruce Schultz in time to let Michael Jackson come up and make the hit. A pickup of 1, maybe 2. They'll mark it just outside the 5-yard line. It'll be second and goal from the 6.
You know, the Raiders like to have number 27, Frank Hawkins, in the game, particularly on short yardage situations, because he's such a tough runner. But he also has excellent hands. So they get down in that situation. He comes in there, and if you think he's going to run the ball all the time, you might be in for a surprise because he's a very good receiver.
Second down and goal from the 6-yard line. Marcus Allen, Kenny King, the running backs. Here comes Allen to the 3-yard line, possibly to the 2. Tuiasosopo on the hit.
Mano Tuiasosopo, coming back from an injury last season, has moved back in at his tackle position on that side. A little help from Jeff Bryant. But Marcus Allen has done this so many times right here in the Coliseum. Gets down, smells that goal line, and just takes off for the air, right?
Seems a little strange seeing him playing here at the Los Angeles Coliseum in anything but a USC Trojan uniform. Just a year ago, he was doing it for John Robinson. Third and goal, just outside the 2. Allen again, same play through the side. Curry cannot hold on. Touchdown, Marcus Allen. His 6th of the year.
Marcus Allen run the football, you just can't help but be amazed. Watch, he's going to break the tackle. He broke a tackle right there. He saw the end zone. He just simply wasn't going to be denied, and it's something that is very difficult to describe how one runner can do it and a lot of others can't. He just has that ability to run the football very well. When he gets near that goal line, he knows how to get in for 6 points.
Coming into the game, he led the AFC in touchdowns with 5. That was number 6, Chris Barr on. He's perfect on the point afters. 14 for 14 now. The Raiders, with 3 minutes, 32 seconds to play in the first period, have drawn first blood at the Coliseum. It's 7-0 Los Angeles. Are set to kick it away. It'll be Horace Ivory at the 3-yard line. What hang time Barr gets. And Ivory, a good return out across the 25-yard line. He's averaging a little more than 21 yards a return. Jack Squirick was in on the stop.
We have an injured player down on the field, one of the Seahawks.
We'll try and get a number for you. We are blocked out also. Now the Seahawks have got to find a way to win this ball game if they want to stay in playoff contention. They trail now with 3:22 to play in the first quarter. Coming into this game with a 3-1 mark, trying to get that 4th victory. Last year, the disastrous year for Raiders standards, 7-9, coming off that big Super Bowl victory over the Philadelphia Eagles the year before that. Dornick in motion. Zorn's going to put it in the air right away. He'll be pressured out of the pocket. He has got Largent, I believe, and he is down just across the 28-yard line. Howie Long on the stop. Check that. The pressure was from Howie Long.
Well, Phil, the Raiders on defense, they will change up their defensive linemen an awful lot. They'll start with Alzado, Reggie Kinlaw, Browning, but Howie Long, Archie Reese, and Reuben Vaughn, they'll all play a lot and they'll rotate. And Howie Long, big, agile guy, and he just really ran by Steve August on that play.
A pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Seattle only been able to pick up 1 first down in about 13 minutes of football. Here they come. Raiders are coming. Zorn chased out. Now throws right over the middle of the field for Paul Johns. Almost picked up.
Well, there's Tuzak leading the yells on the sideline. Let's take a look at the Raiders secondary. Jim Zorn gets some pressure. They're blitzing up the middle. Number 51, the inside linebacker, Bob Nelson, is blitzing. Raiders have a man in the middle, free safety. Zorn throws the ball too high. He's running to his right, trying to throw the ball back to his left, and it's very difficult. There's number 83, Ted Hendricks, coming and applying the pressure from the outside. That's the problem. Jim Zorn is running to his right. He's left-handed, throwing across the field. Tough way to throw the football.
3 wide receivers now for Seattle. Zorn sprinting out to the right. Overthrows his receiver at the far sidelines. That was Paul Johns. Good coverage by Lester Hayes. Zorn 1 for 6 for a total of 1 yard. Not a typical day for Jim Zorn, Gene.
No, but the Raiders are changing up their coverages. Sometimes they're playing zone defense, dropping back off. In that situation, they played a very tight man defense. Lester Hayes took a chance because he read that pattern. He came underneath Largent. And Largent had a pass called on a deeper route. It could have been trouble.
Jeff West, 2 very short punts. This time he sends one downfield to Greg Pruitt. He's got it. Fumbles the ball. And recovers his own fumble. A 45-yard punt. He was hit by Sherman Smith just as he scooped that ball back in. Rodell Thomas, the man who was shaken up a few moments ago, was also in on the hit.
Well, he got his hands on it, lost it, got a good bounce from the ball. You know, that football can bounce in a lot of directions, but went Greg's way that time.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Raiders and the National Football League is prohibited. 2 minutes, 9 seconds to play, opening period. From the 25, Plunkett with all the time in the world. Malcolm Barnwell, I don't think he held on long enough, or did he?
I think he did. I think they're going to give it to him.
He was hit right at the moment he grabbed the ball by Keith Simpson. I thought he dropped it. They're saying he held on long enough. A pickup of nearly 6. Take a look again.
Well, Jim Plunkett has both wide receivers, both Branch and Barnwell, running delay patterns coming into the middle. Seattle was in good position. The defender was there. You see number 42, Keith Simpson. That's his zone. It was simply just too good of a pass from Jim Plunkett. Right on the money. A little risky, though.
2nd and 4. Here comes Allen through the left side. Look at him maintain his balance. Hit first by Don Dupik. John Harris, finally the guy who cut Marcus's legs out from under it. But Tom Flores has to be loving what he's seeing from number 32. Gene, I had the privilege of watching Marcus Allen play his high school ball in San Diego. And I'll tell you, this guy was some kind of an explosive football player years ahead of his time, even in high school. 5 touchdowns for Lincoln High School in the championship game in San Diego. 4 came offensively. He intercepted a pass defensively and ran it in. That was back in high school.
Didn't he play quarterback?
Played quarterback and defensive back. Went both ways. First and 10, 40-yard line. Dump pass, Kenny King. And King will take it out of bounds right in front of the Raiders bench. Out near the 45-yard line. Keith Simpson there to chase him out. The thing the Seahawks, Gene, are not doing today, which they were able to do against the Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers a week ago, that is pressure the quarterback. They didn't have the big number of sacks last week against the Steelers, but they provided a lot of pressure.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the game that the Raiders have one of the biggest offensive lines in football, and they certainly rank up there with being one of the best. Mickey Marvin, Henry Lawrence, these guys are all 270, 265, I think, is the smallest guy on the offensive line.
Second down long, Plunkett to put it in the air. He's got Christensen at midfield. Oh, look at him. Jacob Green was the first guy that put just an excruciating hit on Christensen, and he wouldn't go down. Keith Butler finally in on the stop, but not before the tight end picks up 15. A first down now at the Seahawk 45.
Well, Todd Christensen came into this game with 19 receptions, 3rd in the AFC, tied with Marcus Allen. Look at that hit. Middle linebacker Michael Jackson and Jacob Green. That's a shot that most guys would have been down in a hurry. What does he do? Picks up another 3 or 4 yards. That's the way this Raider football team is playing. Never say die.
We're at the end of the first quarter. With a 7-0 lead, they have the ball at the Seahawks 45-yard line. Los Angeles 124 net yards in the first period. The Seahawks, listen to this, 1 yard in offense. Plunkett, play action, pressure.
It's up for grabs.
Intercepted. There was a penalty for grabs. A flag is down. Keith Simpson caught it. I think it's going to be pass interference against Don Dufek of the Seahawks.
Without even seeing the replay, I'm going to take a chance to disagree with this call, because I don't think the receiver, in order to call pass interference, the offensive receiver must have a chance to be able to catch the ball. Jim Plunkett threw this ball is up for grabs. I don't think the receiver has much of a chance. Well, no, okay, he falls down and bumps into him a little bit, but I tell you, I think 9 times out of 10, that will not be called interference against the defense.
A 44-yard penalty against Seattle. First and goal, Raiders at the Seahawk 1. So take the interception away from Keith Simpson. Kenny King. He'll lose possibly a half a yard. Tuiasa Sopo on the bottom of the pile with help from Jeff Bryant. Boy, look at this Seattle defensive unit, Gene. 6 number 1 draft choices, 3 number 2s, and a number 3. Second down and goal. King again, St. Paul, touchdown.
Used to like to run to the left side when they had Art Scheller tackle and Gene Upshaw left guard. They still seem to like to run left, even though Kurt Marsh and Bruce Davis are on that side.
Chris Barr on. He's converted 14 of 14 point afters. He'll try and make it a 14-0 ball game, and he has got it. Perfect from the hold of Mark Wilson. For the Raiders, 14 minutes, 12 seconds to play here in the second period. Have moved out ahead of Seattle, 14-0. We'll be back at the Coliseum in just a moment. With you at the Coliseum, Chris Barr kicks it away. Dennis Ivory at the 11. Oh, he's got some room out to the 40-yard line, just shy of the 40-yard stripe. A 29-yard return. Monty Jackson, 8th year out of San Diego State, moves in to bring him down. This by far Seattle's best field position of the ball game. That's got to make it much, much easier, Gene, for a Raider defensive unit when you can keep that offense deep in their own territory.
Well, it certainly does. One of the things that the Raider defense wants to do is to try to contain Zorn on those rollouts, those fake draws, try to keep him in the pocket, not let him buy so much time to throw the ball.
The Otis Brown, as he hit at the line of scrimmage. Bob Nelson, 6th year out of Nebraska. No gain at all. In fact, he might have lost a half a yard.
Now, this is a situation where the Seahawks will bring in their third wide receiver. They'll have 3 wide receivers. Sometimes they'll have 4 in there. This is a situation Oakland will counter with their nickel defense. They'll bring out the middle linebacker, Bob Nelson, usually. This is a situation which is critical for both teams. 3 wide receivers. They're going to be throwing the ball with the possible exception of a draw. But this is a key situation.
2nd down, 9. Zorn sprints back, sets up. Timing pattern, no good. Intended receiver, Byron Walker. Right now, let's go to New York for this update.
A lot of teams in that situation. Phil, Jim Zorn does not have the time to throw the ball. He's throwing the ball before his receivers are ready to catch it. Their offensive line is not controlling the line of scrimmage. Same thing that happened.
Rod Nick to Toronto, and he will.
There's a blitz from 55, Matt Millen. Ball tipped up in the air. Rod Martin. There he is, number 53. He's looking around, just waiting for something to happen. There it is. Picked off 3, I believe it was, in the Super Bowl game. They say that he is the best player on the Raider defense, and that includes Ted Hendricks. He is some football player. Drafted by Oakland, they let him go. The 49ers had him for a while. They let him go. Finally got back with the Raiders, and has just been a fantastic defensive back since.
There is no question number 53 plays in the shadow of the other great outside man on the left side, the Stork, Ted Hendricks. But as you mentioned, Gene, people around here call him the best player pound for pound on this Raider football team. Rod Martin has given the Raiders a 21-0 bulge over the Seahawks. Wow, 13:09 to play in the second quarter. We'll be back to the Coliseum in just a moment. His third touchdown this afternoon, and Gene, if there was ever a statistic for opportunistic teams in the NFL, the Raiders would have to be right up at the top. Here's Ivory from the 9. And he's down at the 22-yard line. Good pursuit by the Los Angeles special team.
So it was a flag down on the play. It was a late flag. Could be a late hit against the Raiders. The Raiders are the kind of football team, when they get you down. Oh, it's going to be holding against Seattle.
Nothing is going right at all for Mike McCormick's group today.
When it rains, it pours sometimes, and that's certainly what's happening for the Seahawks.
Holding number 54, receiving team during the return. First down.
Now it's against Eugene Williams, the rookie out of Tulsa. Take a look at these numbers, William. Seattle's possessions today, they have but 1 first down. That is it. 21-0 Raiders.
Before, when it rains, it pours. Number 55, the inside middle linebacker, Matt Millen. You'll see him right side of your screen. He's going to come through on the blitz. Comes from the outside. Jim Zorn has his back turned. Can't see him. Oh, right between the shoulder blades. Ball loose.
Dave Browning on the recovery. Fifth year out of Washington.
As I said before, when they get you down, they don't let you up.
They just beat on you and beat on you. 12 minutes, 53 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Marcus Allen, right side. And he's going to be just shy as he reaches out that big right arm and tries to put the ball on the chalk stripe. Bruce Schultz, rookie out of Texas, is there to tackle him. When you watch Marcus Allen run, you alluded to it in the first period, Gene. He has a lot of the same characteristics as O.J. Simpson exhibited so many years. He doesn't run with a great deal of power, but the grace and fluidness of his running, it looks so effortless.
Bill, I think his power may be deceiving because on this last play, he was hit by no less than 3 defenders and still managed to get another yard or so and almost got the ball over the end zone.
Frank Hawkins, short. 3rd and goal.
Here's my old roommate, quarterback at Stanford, 49ers for a while, Jim Plunkett. You know, last year, Jim took a rap for not throwing the ball well, but no one said anything about the fact that he had a really severely strained thumb, and he just couldn't grip the football. That no longer is a problem, and he's really playing very well, throwing the football right on the money, and everybody's happy again.
3rd and goal, ball just inside the 1. The I formation. Marcus, he is hit for a loss. Don Dufik, the man who was whistled for pass interference in the end zone a few moments ago, is in on the stop. Will they go for it? I believe so. Here comes Kenny King into the game.
Well, Seattle is getting fired up. You can see number 25, Don Dufik, who's playing in there for Kenny Easley, who was injured, hurt his back. They're getting fired up, but it may be a little too late. You know, you get down here on your own 1-yard line, but I guess it's better late than never. But if they can keep them out of the end zone in this situation, that may do an awful lot to get their offense going.
Halfback pass by Marcus Allen here.
Be a nice option.
Allen crossing pattern. Look here. He can't get to it. An inside-outside pattern. He did not fake out Dave Brown, who played it perfectly. And the Seahawks have held from the 1-yard line.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Marcus. He comes out in motion. But number 55, Michael Jackson, didn't go for the fake. He faked outside, tried to get him inside and come back. And Michael Jackson, who's a very quick middle linebacker, was right there. Plunkett had to throw it over his head.
So a big defensive stand for the Seahawks. We'll be back. Of seats here. First down from their own 2-yard line. Seattle 21 points down. Largent in motion coming at out near the 4-yard line. Theodis Brown. Reggie Kinlaw, the middleman on that defensive line, is in on the stop. Look at Zorn's numbers today. 1 for 8, 1 yard, and an interception.
But again, he hasn't had time to throw the ball. The Raiders have been in his face all day long. He's getting back there, and he's having to throw the ball before his receivers are even making their cuts.
Second and 7. Again, it is Theodis Brown, and he runs right smack into 6'7" Ted Hendricks.
Well, I think the expression on Mike McCormick's face best exemplifies what's going on for the Seahawks right now. The Raiders have them backed up, and they continue to put the pressure on. Bob Nelson, number 51, came on the blitz. The runner had no place to go except right into the arms of Ted Hendricks.
Dallas leading the only undefeated team left in pro football in the second quarter. Denver leading the Falcons in the first period 14-7. Third down, 6. The ball on the 6-yard line. Flag is down. Dornick has the ball. And the flag is thrown in from a long way out. official can heave that flag about 20 yards. That'll be against the Raiders, I believe. Maybe an illegal chuck. Holding. We were telling you early in the second period, the Seattle Seahawks had 1 net yard.
Well, Oakland is in a defense where they're playing tight man-to-man defense. You can see them. They can chuck for the first 3-4 yards there. But now they're crossing. And what happens is that in an effort to try to catch up, one of the Raiders defenders grabs a hold. The official is right there on the spot and throws a flag.
Call is against Otis McKinney. First and 10, Seattle. Their second first down in this ball game. Otis Brown wide open. He is out across the 20-yard line, very close to a first down, and it will be. Bob Nelson bumps him out. Zorn starting to pick his receivers a little more quickly now.
I guess that's one of the things that they discussed in the sideline. We're not getting that much time to throw the ball on our normal drop back, so let's throw the ball a little quicker, try to get some momentum going on the offense, getting the ball out to his running backs, in that case, Otis Brown. Otis has really come on in the last couple of weeks. He started off slow in the preseason, really wasn't very quick at all. In the last couple of weeks, he's just looked outstanding at running back.
You can bet Ted Watts is thanking his lucky stars that Mr. Johns could not hold on.
But watch Jim Zorn come back. He's going to look off the free safety. Came back on the post pattern. Paul Johns is the fastest man on the Seattle team, and he just simply drops this football. He has 6 points. There's 6 points all over that. But Burgess Owens was moved to the right side because Jim Zorn came back. He looked to the right, came back, threw that quick post pattern. Should have been 6 points.
Second down and 10. Otis Brown. He crosses the 25. The pickup of about 4. Macmillan on the stop. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, 9 minutes away, we'll take you back to New York, Studio 6A, for the NFL 82 report. Len Berman, Mike Adamley, highlights and scores all around the NFL today. Very interesting ball games have taken place and are still being played. Mike McCormick, he is being called the interim coach of the Seahawks. A lot of talk this week in Seattle about perhaps him staying on. Word is, McCormick has been very non-committal.
Come on, come on!
End around. Here comes Johns. And look here. Burgess Owens. 10th year out of Miami. He was not about to be sucked in.
Burgess wasn't fooled at all on that play. Number 44, first-round draft choice for the Jets. The Raiders stole him from the Jets, gave them a 6th-round pick, and he has just played great football since he's been here.
Jeff West on to kick it away, his 4th punt of the afternoon. Again, not very far, very high. Greg Pruitt has it at the 43-yard line, a 31-yard kick. So Jeff West is not having a good day at all as you look at Lyle Alzada. We'll be back in a moment. Quarter from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The Raiders have done it all. The Seahawks haven't been able to do a thing. Bob Chandler in motion to the near side. That is Marcus Allen.
Kind of adjectives can you use for a guy that runs like this? The move that he put on Dufek was fantastic. Bobby Chandler coming into the game for the first time, being out 2 weeks with an injury, makes a great block. Marcus Allen just simply a fantastic running back. Look at that. 9 tries, 110 yards, 1 touchdown.
A 53-yard run for the rookie out of Trojan country, and the fans are on their feet here at the Coliseum. Chester Willis has come on to join Frank Hawkins in the Raiders' backfield. Plunkett will come to the near sideline. A timeout for Seattle. You got to watch the block Chandler puts on number 44, John Harris.
But look at this fake right there. I've seen O.J. Simpson do that a few times. I think Marcus has really watched the way O.J. runs. Look at that block. Bobby Chandler coming back, being out 2 weeks, injured, comes all the way across the field and makes a great block.
Marcus Allen takes it down to the 3-yard line. We'll be back in just a moment. Ball game. It is first and goal for the Raiders. Chandler in motion. Allen again. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Talk about the Marcus Allens, the Jim Plunkett's, the Matt Millens, the Ted Hendricks, but the offensive line is just flat out blowing the Seahawks away today.
Well, the Raiders did control the line of scrimmage last week against Cincinnati. They got beat. This week they're winning big. Marcus Allen, 56 yards, 2 plays, touchdown. I think the guys on the right side, Mickey Marvin and Henry Lawrence, they say, hey, let us get in on the action. Stop going left. Come to our side.
You can take a chair out there and sit down. Offside against Seattle. Ken McAllister is the guy who jumped.
Offside, number 45, defense. The extra point is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Now, referee Gordon McCarter said the penalty was against Kenny easily, but he's not even dressed today. It was against number 48. So Seattle down 28-0, and this guy has had an awful lot to do with that deficit.
When you have a player on your team who plays as well as a Marcus Allen, particularly a rookie that comes in and plays so well right away, it just inspires everyone else to play a little better than they normally would. And that certainly happened here for the L.A. Raiders.
At least another week. Chris Barr to kick it away. And he hammers this one about 6 yards deep. And Horace Ivory will say no thanks. The Seahawks will start from their own 20. Down 28-0. A 7-point first quarter. And 3 touchdowns here in the second period. You talk about a guy who's lonesome on that Raider team. We haven't seen Ray Guy once today. And we've played 22 minutes of football. Looking through the Raiders press guide last night. Ray Guy, in 10 years playing for the Raiders, has averaged over 43 yards a punt. Absolutely incredible number. Dan Dornick, nothing doing. The Raider defensive line shuts it down. And the Raiders scoring drive, 2 plays, 56 yards, and Marcus Allen got them all. He has 2 touchdowns this afternoon to bring his yearly total to 7. By far and away the best in the AFC. Steve Largent comes to the near side. He is checked right there in the foreground by Lester Hayes. 2nd and 9. Blitz. Horace Ivory did not fool Bob Nelson. Pick up of maybe 3. 3rd down and 4.
Well, let's take a look at the blocking on the offensive line of Seattle. The problem is that both inside linebackers for the Raiders, Bob Nelson and number 55, Matt Millen, were coming on the blitz. And that blitz, if it's a passing situation, they can put more pressure on the quarterback. And if they're lucky, if the other team runs, they disrupt the running pattern. And that's what happened in that call.
Now the Raiders come into this game 14th, dead last in the AFC in pass defense. But don't try and sell the Seattle Seahawks on that today. Excellent catch by John Sawyer. A pickup of 14 yards for Mr. Zorn. A first down for Seattle.
John Country Sawyer, they call him up in the Seattle area. Doesn't play an awful lot because there are a couple of tight ends that are much bigger than he is and he can block better, but when they want to throw the ball to their tight end, he's the guy that comes in, runs excellent routes, and has very good hands.
Let's go!
5 minutes, 3 seconds to play in the second quarter. Zorn, 4 of 12 for 32 yards.
There you go!
Intercepted by Burgess Owen. And they're saying he was down. At midfield, the interception will go, but his knee was touched. Steve Largent is out there at midfield, talking to referee Gordon McCarter about a possible pass interference call or defensive holding.
Well, you'll see this ball bounce right out of Largent's hands. He makes a little dive for it. There it is, right off his chest, into the hands of 44 Burgess Owens. There he's down because he was actually touched by Steve Largent. Ball is dead where his knee hit the ground.
4 minutes, 47 seconds to play before halftime. The Raiders in command. The Broncos. Cliff Branch in motion to the top of your screen. A pitch to Marcus Allen, and the Seahawks, I'm sure, have seen enough of him today. Look at him. He turns a loss of a couple into a gain of 2. Michael Jackson, the middle linebacker there, finally bringing Allen down. Gene, the Seahawks find themselves down 28-0. I remember a game last November 8th at the Kingdome in Seattle. Seahawks were down 21-3 in the second quarter to the Steelers. Came back with a touchdown in the second quarter, 2 more in the fourth period to beat Chuck Knowles' group back then 24-21. So Seattle knows how to come back from a deficit. Whether they can do it against a team like the Raiders, who are playing so very, very well today. Look at those turnovers. That will not win you many ball games. Bob Chandler, Cliff Branch line up on the near side. The give is to Frank Huckins, and he'll gain possibly 1. Jacob Green with help from Keith Simpson on the stop.
Well, if Seattle is going to come back at all, their defense is going to have to give their offense the football and not allow the Raider offense to move down the field. The Raiders have been very methodical. The big run for Marcus Allen, but otherwise they've been very methodical, eating up the clock, using their man blocking, using the advantage of their offensive line. And their offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage today. That's why they're so far out ahead. Last week they didn't do it and they lost.
Plunkett. Wide open, Kenny King, and he is hit immediately by John Harris, the right side safety.
Well, Mr. Ray Guy will get his first chance of the afternoon to punt the ball. Seattle's defense has done its job. Now let's see what they can do on offense.
Well, they haven't done much today. 3 turnovers have just crippled the Seattle offense. John Harris and Gregory Johnson are the twin safeties for Seattle. I gotta believe the Raiders will take a delay of game just to give Guy 5 more yards to punt it, and they will. There's Kenny King sitting on the near sideline. He has a touchdown in this ball game. A little pain right now, not sure exactly what's wrong. He got hit by Harris a few moments ago on a little flats pass. Now look at the Seahawks. They're making wholesale changes as the Raiders come up to the line of scrimmage. Well, I haven't seen that happen before.
Delay of game. Offense. Still.
Seattle sent in a brand new football team just now. And I believe they're going to send everybody. Watch the guys in white on the line of scrimmage. They're all coming. Now they won't get close to it. This guy hangs this one about as high as you can kick a ball. Paul Johns on the receiving end, a fair catch at the 17-yard line. Want to remind you while we have a moment, next Sunday we've got a doubleheader football action here on NBC Sports. The Battle of Ohio features the Browns visiting Ken Anderson and the defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Many of you will see the Steelers pitted against the Buffalo Bills. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Raiders and the Chiefs renew their age-old rivalry, while the Broncos tangle with the Los Angeles Rams here in L.A. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL 82, right here on the home of the Super Bowl, NBC Sports. First and 10, 2 minutes, 12 seconds to play. Zorn to put it in the air. Going for it. And the man he overthrows is Byron Walker. Walker looking for a pass interference call against Mike Thomas. He will not get it. Mike Davis missed most of last year with that broken leg, Gene. He came back in the late going of 1981, and this year has played exceptionally well.
Well, he's such a force at that strong safety position. He's a big man. He's about 6'2" or 6'3", weighs about 220. And when he hits people, they really know that he has been around. They missed him an awful lot last year. Otis McKinney did a good job filling in, but just, he's a small guy. He's a cornerback and really couldn't do the job that Mike Davis had done for so many years for these Raiders.
Second down and 10. 2:08 left in the first half. Zorn trying to get it out to Largent, and he overthrows him again. Ted Watts has played very, very well also. If the superlatives sound like they're non-stop, that's because virtually everybody on this Raider defensive unit is playing just about as well as you can play this game.
Well, Ted Watts is in his second year. He's going to be a really good defensive back, but he's got man-on-man situation. Very good move by Largent. He's open, but Zorn overthrows him. The reason he overthrows him, he doesn't have the time to sit back there in the pocket and pick out his receiver. He doesn't have the time that Mr. Plunkett has. The Raider defensive line, they're really putting the pressure on Jim Zorn.
Third down and 10. Zorn now 4 of 15 for 34 yards. To his tight end, that is Pete Metzelaars, the rookie out of Wabash, and he has a first down. 1:54 seconds to play. The clock is stopped with a 2-minute warning. Oh, Jim Zorn will trot to the far sidelines. 1:54 to play. The Raiders 28, Seattle nothing. Back skins.
Let's go! Come on! Come on!
That man has sure made his presence felt on a lot of running backs around this league. John Matuzak out with the disc problem. First and 10, Seahawks. 1:54 to go here in the first half from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Here come the Raiders again. Seattle picking up the blitz very well. Byron Walker is hit right as he comes to the ball. Burgess Owens and Ted Watts. They're giving a clinic on how to defend against the pass today, against a team that, as I said earlier, has picked up 72% of its total yardage through the airways.
Well, the Raiders are not content to just sit back there and play zone defense. Again, they bring the inside linebacker, Matt Millen, on the blitz. And as you said before, number 44, Burgess Owens, sitting back there in his free safety position, reads the pass, comes over, and knocks the ball away from Byron Walker.
Second down and 10 now. The ball on the 31. Walker, Steve Largent line up.
Let's go!
Wide to the left.
Let's go! Get him, Robert!
Roger Carr is to the near side. Here comes Dan Dornick in motion. Zorn, sprint draw. Oh, look at Zorn. Finally runs out of steam. Is helped to the grass by Mike Davis. The biggest offensive burst by far for Seattle today. Zorn running for 34 yards. And Seattle will call a timeout and stop the clock with 1:37 to play.
Well, it's a quarterback draw. That's one way to counteract the tremendous rush that you're getting from these Raiders linemen. They had some games going on. They were looping and so forth. Zorn just went back about 3 steps, came right at the middle. Best play, Seahawks. As you mentioned, he simply ran out of gas. You can start. The monkey got on his back after he got down there about 20 yards, jumped all over. I know what that feels like.
You were talking about Jim Plunkett and you being roommates with the 49ers. The question I have is how come he's still playing?
Well, he's younger than I am, and he's a quarterback. We all know that quarterbacks don't take the physical abuse that wide receivers do, right? I mean, that's a cushiony job for those quarterbacks. He's only had 9 operations.
How many did you have?
One.
A minute 37 seconds to play. Gene and I were talking last week about whether or not with the new union agreement between the players and the owners with the severance pay thing, whether a player who retired could come back into play football and rake in all those tens of thousands of dollars for all the years you played. You had, what, 11 years?
Do you know that happened in Miami? Defensive lineman came back. He's going to get $140,000 severance pay when he leaves this year. Came back for the remaining games. It happened down there. Sheila brought one of the.
Still got a jersey? Oh, look at that. Matt Millen hits that ball about 15 feet in the air. Nobody could get underneath it for Los Angeles or Seattle. On incompletion, it'll be 2nd down and 10 now. Seattle at the Raiders 34.
Number 55, Matt Millen, one of the inside linebackers. Do you know that his weight is down? He's 260, but his weight is down. And he's
down
a
to what?
linebacker. It's down from 275.
Look at that. That hit him right in the shoulder pad.
Come on, McGee.
2nd and 10. 4 wide receivers now for the Hawks. Down the sideline, Byron Walker has it. He has got it, and the man he caught it over was the 50-year man out of Colorado, Otis McKinney, a pickup of 24. It stops the clock out of bounds with 1:25 to play. 1st and goal, Seattle.
Byron Walker is watching the football all the way. Number 23, Otis McKinney, didn't see the ball at all. The result is a reception. And Bones did this for a rookie. He really is playing good football. Lots of poise. And in the preseason, he did this on several occasions. They've been very, very pleased with the way he's come on.
Bones?
Bones. Byron Bones Walker.
Where'd you get that?
He's skinny. The man is skinny.
6'4", 190, I guess so. Dornick in motion. Zorn right over the middle. Guy he's going for there is Paul Johns. Burgess Owens puts the shoulder right into him.
Well, Jim Zorn is going to throw this ball right at us. You can see 55, Matt Millen in the center. He goes across. There's 44, Burgess Owens. Ball goes right through Paul John's arms. You know, defensive backs, for the receiver, if the receiver misses the ball, they hit you harder.
Just letting you know they're around. Hey, I'm here. 2nd down and goal from the 10. Oh, that time Metzelaars, the rookie out of Wabash, could not hold it. Matt Millen was in the vicinity, but that was a very catchable ball. But if you think about it, Gene, those are 2 touchdowns that have been dropped. Paul Johns caught the one out near midfield and let it slip right out of his hands. He had 2 steps on Watts and this one.
Well, Jim Zorn can't do any more than throw the ball right into the hands of the receiver. Pete Metzelaars was an All-American basketball player. If anyone should have good hands, he should, right? All-American basketball player. I think it was Wabash College.
3rd and 10. A minute 14 to play. Zorn floats it to Largent. Touchdown, Seahawks. And the man he beat, a pretty fair corner, Lester Hayes. If you could read Largent's lips right there, he looked over to the side judge and said, hey, he was holding.
Well, Lester took a little gamble. I think he thought the ball was going to be thrown on a quick drop Largent and Zorn, they can read each other. It didn't happen. I think he altered his route a little bit. They finally connect for 6 points.
Absolutely superb camera work by our sideline camera. And Mike McCormick breathing a little bit easier, although he still finds his team down by 3 touchdowns. It's now 28-7 Los Angeles with 1 minute 11 seconds to play in the first half. Now, Gene, you saw the Raiders on the other end of one of these lopsided deals a couple of weeks ago against the Chargers right here at the Coliseum. It was the Raiders who got the touchdown right before halftime to go in trailing 24-7, and that has to pump you up. Now you know that, hey, in fact, this team is not invincible. We can move the ball against them.
Well, do you think Tom Flores is going to remind the Raiders when they go in the locker room, look, guys, the same thing could happen. There's Largent, scored the touchdown. Sam Atkins with the hat on over there, he's encouraging him. What a receiver Steve Largent is. Just a fantastic wide receiver.
Doesn't have the blazing speed, doesn't have the swift moves of a Gene Washington or a Kellen Winslow or a Wes Chandler, but he's an awful lot like a Howard Twilley and a Fred Biletnikoff. He just gets to the open spot on the field and catches the ball.
Coming into today's game, he's caught passes in 72 straight games. Look at that. That's beautiful.
I want to remind you at halftime, NFL 82. Our studios in New York, Glenn Berman, Mike Adamley will have highlights for most all the games around the National Football League. Update you on all the late ball games still taking place. And it'll bounce into the end zone. Clee Montgomery will let it sail. The Raiders will have it at their own 20 with 1 minute 11 seconds to play. To Kenny King, and that's where it's going. A pickup of 3 out to the 23-yard line. Jeff Bryant, rookie out of Clemson. Boy, take a look at these possessions. Turn the ball over on the goal line down there on their 4th possession. Seattle just simply held them out for one of the few times today. And turnovers have been a big, big key to Oakland's offense. The Broncos have now moved out in front of the Falcons, 17-14. 33 seconds to play. Marcus Allen comes out near the 29-yard line. Jeff Bryant again on the stop with help from Bruce Schultz. Clock continues to run. Yes, indeed, I believe the Raiders will just let it go. 2nd down, less than a yard. 3rd down and less than a yard. Now San Diego has defeated the Cleveland Browns today. Dallas is out in front of the undefeated Redskins. There are a lot of ball games taking place today. Here at halftime, it's the Raiders 28, Seattle 7. We'll be back. Interception.
Yeah, they are going to still try to get more points on the board because it may become a factor. It may mean whether they make the playoffs or not.
Got a bad little burst there by Greg Pruitt. A 33-yard return out to the 34-yard line. Gregory Johnson on the stop. I'll tell you what, you won't find a bigger hole than that to run through.
Well, the Raiders made a deal for Greg Pruitt just for this reason, to run back kickoffs. They hadn't done a very good job in the last year or so on their special teams, particularly this situation, and that's why they went to get Greg Pruitt. Not to have him run the ball from the offensive formation, but to run back kickoffs. And he's done a very good job since he's been in.
The I formation. Watch for Marcus Allen. And there he is. Out to near the 40-yard line. A pickup of nearly 5. Robert Hardy out of Jackson State stops Allen. Lineups remain the same. Offensive backfield, Jim Plunkett at quarterback, Allen and King the running back. What a day they're having. The receivers, Brass, Christensen, and Barnwell. And the offensive line, and a good one it has been today. Davis, Marsh, Dalby, Mickey Marvin, and Henry Lawrence. It's hard to believe the Raiders are up 28-7, Gene, and Cliff Branch has not caught one pass today. Deep drop by Plunkett. And he goes for Allen. He cannot hold on. Good coverage by Keith Butler with help from Dave Brown.
Bill, as you pointed out, Cliff Branch hasn't caught a pass, but I'll tell you one thing. Seattle is very, very concerned about Cliff Branch. Take a look at the defensive line. Seattle is Jacob Green, Robert Hardy, Mano Tuiasosopo at number 77, number 1 draft choice. Jeff Bryant. Linebackers Bruce Schultz, Michael Jackson in the middle, and Keith Butler on the outside. Defensive backs Keith Simpson, Dave Brown, Don Dufek, and John Harris. Free safety.
3rd and 5. Plunkett pressured. He's hit just as he releases the ball. He was going for Marcus Allen. Jacob Green, great pressure. And he's beside himself as he walks off the field. I think he wanted an offensive holding call, didn't get it. He's trying to fire up that defensive unit.
Well, Jacob Green is a terrific defensive end. Reached out there. I think he's a little upset with himself because he felt he had a chance to get Plunkett. He just sort of slipped by it, missed it the first time, came back around, put a little more pressure on him, caused Plunkett to throw the ball, really to throw the ball away.
Ray Guy has been around since 1970. This is only the second time he has come into the ball game today. Oh, almost blocked. Fair catch at the 35-yard line. Kerry Justin almost got to it. Justin and Dufek collide right here.
Well, you'll see he almost gets this punt, and I think that Ray Guy had his eye on him because he only got this punt away for about 25 yards, which is way, way below his average.
A 25-yard punt. Zorn, Sherman Smith, and David Hughes. Receivers, Paul John, Steve Largent, and Mike Tice. And the offensive line, who has really been pushed around by the Raiders defensive line today. Setback is Dornick on 1st and 10. And the give is to Dornick. And he's got nothing. Reggie Kinlaw, the middle guard, shuts things down. Kinlaw coming off minor knee surgery a year ago. Very, very slow recovery, but he sure stopped it up there.
The Raider defensive group, Dave Browning, Reggie Kinlaw in the middle, Lyle Alzado right in. Linebackers, Hendricks, Matt Millen, Bob Nelson, Rob Martin. Defensive backs, the same as the first half. Lester Hayes, Ted Watts, corner, Mike Davis, strong safety, and Burgess Owens, free safety.
Just underway, 3rd period action from the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Strong safety blitz.
Right up the middle goes Sherman Smith, and he won't get very much. Pickup of 2 to the 39. Reggie Kinlaw is there again.
Phil, if there's a question as to whether the Raiders are going to be conservative on defense, you can forget about it. On that last play, number 36, Mike Davis, came from a strong safety position on a blitz. And that's not conservative football.
3rd down and 7. 12 minutes, 40 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Zorn will sprint left and underthrows Largent at the midfield stripe. So the Seattle Seahawks will be forced to kick it away. The 5th time we'll see Jeff West in the ballgame to punt it away, and he has had an atrocious afternoon punting. West averaging 34.8 this afternoon. Greg Pruitt standing back at his own 22-yard line. Oh, look at this one. It goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. A 30-yard punt for West. So the Raiders, when we come back, will have the ball with great field position and a huge lead already. Plunkett, 48 yards passing today. He had more than 300 last week in that 31-17 loss to the Bengals. Christensen, the tight end, is hit by the middle linebacker, Michael Jackson.
Bill, we've been talking about the success of the Raider line. Look at number 60. That's Kurt Marsh. He's the man that came in last year to replace Gene Upshaw. First man to come in and start as a rookie for the Raiders since Gene Upshaw did it about 15 years ago.
Second down, call it 5 at their own 38. Marcus Allen. Oh, dropped for a loss by Keith Butler. Now, you won't see that happen very often, although the Bengals got to Marcus all afternoon long a week ago in Cincinnati. 8 carries, 0 yardage a week ago. But he has certainly made up for it this afternoon.
Well, he certainly has. But I think what happens to the defense is that after you see Marcus Allen break a few tackles, you realize you just can't hit him with the shoulder. When you tackle him, you have to wrap your arms around him and hold on, because he can get away from one tackler.
Plunkett's going for it. Cliff Branch. And it's almost picked off by Don Dufik. He had a shot at it and could not hold on.
Well, Jim Plunkett is feeling the pressure for the first time as we take a look at number 21, Cliff Branch, going downfield, going to the middle. Really doesn't expect the ball to be thrown his way. He's about the 3rd receiver on Jim's list, but Plunkett breaks the pocket and just puts the ball up. Don Dufik, well, you know, it's tough to say if he should have had it or not, but he got his hands on it. You know, that's a situation where you can really start to turn things around. Dufik playing in place of injured Kent Easley.
4th down and 5. Seattle showing as if they're going to send all 10, but they're not. They back off. Short punt again by Guy. They get a good bounce. Paul Johns will back up and let it go. The hometown bounce carries all the way down to the 17, a 45-yard punt by Ray Guy. His best effort of the afternoon. 10:46 to play, 3rd period. Seattle will have the ball. He is not returning to this ball game, a pinched nerve in his neck. Play action, Zorn to put it up. And he's trying to float it out to Sherman Smith. Could not get there. Scores around the league. Game still going on. Dallas now over the undefeated Redskins, 10-0 at RFK. It is Denver over the Atlanta Falcons, 20-14. Second down and 10. Gene, you alluded to it in the first half. It appears as if the receiving core of the Seahawks and Jim Zorn are just not in sync. They're not in the same wavelength today.
That's primarily because the Raiders' defensive line is putting so much pressure on Zorn.
Floats it downfield, and that's so hard that he dropped it. The flag is down, back at about the 10-yard line. Probably offensive holding, and it is. Mike Davis back on the coverage. Metzelars, the 3rd very catchable pass that has been dropped by Seattle receivers today.
Well, Phil, I've played in this Coliseum, as I've mentioned before, several times. And I do know for a fact that when you're going in that direction and you look back right into that sun. And it can be really tough. Sometimes you don't see that ball until it's just right on top of you.
Holding, number 64, offense, decline, 3rd down.
Now the call is against the left tackle, Ron Essing. It'll be 4th down, a punting situation now, I believe. Pardon me, 3rd down and 10.
Well, there's number 55, Matt Millen, inside linebacker, coming up the middle, putting the pressure on the quarterback. That allows number 77, Lyle Alzado, to get out and really force Jim Zorn to run way out of the pocket. When you're rolling out, it's very difficult to throw that ball when you're running really fast, and that's what Jim Zorn had to do. But he got it out there, and the ball was just dropped.
Zorn, heavy pressure. Oh, look at this. Sherman Smith, a flag is down again. Smith still on his feet. He's got more than enough for the first down, but hold on just a moment.
May have an ineligible man downfield because that play was so long in development.
Now you're exactly right. So they'll call it back. So now the question is, do you take the penalty or do you take the down? 10 minutes, 20 seconds to play here in the third period. 28-7 Los Angeles. Let's listen.
The ineligible receiver downfield, number 76, offense. Penalty, half the distance to the goal line. Repeat the down.
Well, that was a right tackle for Seattle, Steve August. That's a tough situation. If you're the offensive lineman, you sort of have a mental clock as to how long it's going to be before you can go downfield, and that play was really slow in development. As a matter of fact, I think Jim Zorn went to his secondary receiver.
Third and 20. Zorn is down at the half-yard line. They will not get the safety. Reuben Vaughn was hoping for it. So the clock is stopped. It'll be fourth down and a bundle.
Reuben Vaughn comes into this game with 3 sacks, number 99, and Lyle Alzado, both of them. They just put all kinds of heat on Jim Zorn. And the Seattle offensive line, they're really just not doing the job today, Phil.
Fourth down, 26. Jeff West will not get his full 15 yards to get this punt away. And the Raiders have 10 men on the line. They could block this one. Very short punt. Pruitt would have a return. He brings it back about 3 yards inside the Seahawks 25-yard line. A 27-yard punt. Brian Flores runs them out. So the Raiders, as they did in the first half, excellent field position here. They have a 28-7 lead. The Coliseum in Los Angeles, 9:36 to play in the third period. The Raiders on top of the Hawks, 28-7. And Los Angeles with excellent field position following a 27-yard punt by Jeff West. Marcus Allen in near the 20. Robert Hardy on the tackle. Seahawks came into this game second in the NFL in scoring defense, allowing only 13.5 points a game.
Henry Lawrence. I was about to say the right tackle for the Raiders is down. It appears as though he's having some problems with his shoulder.
So while the Raiders medical staff tends to Lawrence, Plunkett will trot to the near sideline. We'll take a break. Mike McCormick, and Henry Lawrence is being helped off the field. He will be replaced by Art Shell, another guy who's been around a few years. 15th year, Missouri State. Position Art Shell really is not that familiar with.
That's right. He played on the left side with Gene Upshaw for so many years, and now he's a swing man, playing both, backing up at both left and right tackle. And that does make a difference because you get accustomed to that defensive end coming at you from a certain position. He's going to be over on the right side. He's up against one of the best in the league in Jacob Green, so this will be an interesting matchup.
Second down and 6. The clock running, 9 minutes, 12 seconds to play, third period. Plunkett with time. Now he's hit. Unloads the ball. Wow, Jacob Green all over Plunkett.
I was just saying it's going to be an interesting matchup with Jacob Green over there and Art Shell playing really an unfamiliar position. Jacob Green just used his strength and speed to get around Art Shell. Forced Plunkett to throw a really poor pass. Take a look on the left side of your screen. You'll see Jacob Green come in there. There he is, right there. Actually hits Plunkett's arm. I didn't realize that before, but he actually hit his arm as he was throwing the ball.
Plunkett 6 for 8 in the first half. Is 1 of 5 here in the second half. Flag is down. Marcus Allen inside the 15-yard line. And I believe it'll be offside against Tuiasosopo.
Well, Marcus picking up more than 5 yards, I believe, on that run, so they'll probably just decline that.
Offside, number 74, defense, declined, 1st and 10.
Here he is, right on the right side of your screen. Tuiasa Sopo jumps right there. Looked as if he might have gotten back, but the snap came just as he was taking the step back. 1st down 10. The ball now, the Seahawk 13. Marcus Allen, he is grabbed around the leg, and he's down. Bruce Schultz had him by the right leg. Marcus thought he regained his balance. The officials whistled him down.
Phil, I see a difference in the second half from the first half with Seattle's defensive line and even their linebackers. They're swarm tackling now. The first half, they didn't do that. They were tackling with their arms. Marcus Allen just running through those kinds of tackles. Now they seem to be swarming to the man with the ball, and when they tackle him, they're wrapping their arms around him. I don't know what Mike McCormick said to his defense in the locker room at halftime, but whatever he said, it sure seems to be working here in the second half.
2nd down now, 13 yards to go for the Raiders. Plunkett to go upstairs. Right over the middle. Michael Jackson and Keith Butler combined to stop Marcus Allen. Boy, this guy didn't kill you on the ground. He'll get you in the air, won't he?
Well, Jim Plunkett has been in a lot of pressure situations, and Jacob Green really gets there, puts a lot of pressure on him. But Plunkett manages to get the ball out to number 32, Marcus Allen. Allen loves to run the football, but Oakland says the running back in our offense must be a receiver also. They have to throw that ball to their running backs, and Allen has really responded, coming into today's game 3rd in the AFC with 19 receptions.
Bob Chandler and Cliff Branch split out to the top of your screen. Chandler in motion. He's right there. Picked off. Don Dufek. He had one in the 3rd period. A few moments ago, he could have caught. He was whistled for pass interference at the end zone that gave the Raiders a touchdown in the 2nd period. This time, he comes up with the ball.
Well, I think Jim had made up his mind before he left the huddle where he wanted to throw the ball. Tried to look the defender off, but as you'll see, Dufek is right there. He's trying to get the ball to Bobby Chandler. All Don Dufek has to do is just step one step to the right. The ball hits him right between the numbers. Comes up with the interception.
Plunkett's first interception of the day. He had 4 a week ago at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. 1st down Seattle. If they're going to make a move, they've got to start in a hurry. Oh, look at this. Wide open, and he overthrows Paul Johns. Ted Watts, he had Watts beat by 5 yards. Watts and Burgess Owens are talking about it now as they come back upfield.
Where there was obviously some confusion, you can see on the top of your screen, that's number 20, Ted Watts out there. Burgess Owens is in the middle. There's a move. What happened, the confusion is that Paul Johns put a great move on Ted Watts, who's a young defender, and he just had him beat by a mile. Ball overthrown.
Zorn 7 of 24 for 82 yards, 2 interceptions, and the lone touchdown. The 10-yard pitch to Steve Largent, closing out the first half. Word on Henry Lawrence, a sprained right knee. He probably will not return. Oh, pressure. Zorn is down in a heap. A safety blitz from Mike Davis. Good night.
Well, Mike Davis came through that time virtually untouched. Jim Zorn didn't have a chance at all. No one laid a hand on 36. You can see him in the middle of your screen. Mike Davis coming through. No one near him. No chance at all.
The 3rd time Zorn has been down this afternoon. Now you're talking 3rd down and 18 yards to go. 6 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Seattle 90 yards away. They trail 28-7.
And the Raiders go with 6 defensive backs.
Now there you're going to find encroachment on Reuben Vine. He jumped and made contact.
You think Reuben is a little anxious to add to his sack total?
Tom Flores, his counterpart today, Mike McCormick. A team. We did a lot of Baltimore's games a year ago, and this guy headed up the Baltimore Colts. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles. He has never had a winning ball club. In fact, his record as a pro coach, 25, 48, and 1. But I have always felt that Mike McCormick, given a decent amount of talent, would be a very effective head coach.
Well, he has a nucleus of that right here with the Seahawks. They've responded very well.
They're down in 14. Johns cannot hold the football again. And he is hurt at the 26-yard line. If you remember back to the first game of the year against the Cleveland Browns, Johns had, I believe, 2, possibly 3 balls that were right in his hands he could not hold on. He has had 2 today.
Well, he's still on the ground, and they're attending to him. It's
Jeff West to Greg Pruitt. He has got it. Fair catch, 46-yard line. Again, a 30-yard punt. I would say it is safe to assume Seattle may be looking for a new punter before too long. Has punted 7 times today for an average of 32.5 yards a punt. The Raiders, Plunkett to put it up. But Robert Hardy had other ideas. That's the second sack for the Seahawks defensive unit today. Jacob Green has the other one.
Robert Heartburn Hardy. You know, a lot of people complain about his height, the fact that he's only 6'1", but oftentimes that works to his advantage because he's able to get underneath that offensive blocker.
Second down, 17 now. Seattle defense has played very well here in the second half. Chester Willis to the right side. Michael Jackson and Bruce Schultz pull him down. Dallas over Washington, 17-3 in the 4th period. And it is Atlanta, an 86-yard pass from Bartkowski to William Andrews at Mile High Stadium. It's 24-10 Falcons now. Third, 14 yards to go. Plunkett. Plenty of time. Christensen has got it shy of the first down inside the Seahawks 40-yard line. Michael Jackson pulls him down.
Well, Todd Christensen, number 46, top of your screen, a tight end, has become a favorite target of Jim Plunkett. The Seahawks are playing their zone defense. Christensen breaks out to the right, looks for the open area, settles down. Plunkett starts to scramble a little bit, finds him, throws the ball to him, and Christensen does a good job of running the ball after the catch. Played running back when he was in college.
One of the great running backs at BYU. Unfortunately, did not see a whole lot of action there in Cougar country because Lavelle Edwards loves to put that ball in the air up there. Ray Guy to kick it away. And here come the Seahawks. They'll not get to this one. Guy tries to get it out of bounds and does so inside the 15-yard line. So Seattle, for the umpteenth time today, will start deep in their own end. A 20-yard punt for Mr. Guy. The scores around the league. St. Louis has beaten up Dick Vermeil's Eagles 23-20. First and 10, Seattle, 4:23 to play in the third. Theodis Brown. He tries to get back by Mike Davis. Can't do it. Ball pops loose, but it is whistled down. A pickup of 8 for Seattle. More scores, all of these finals now. Green Bay walloping the Buffalo Bills 33-21. Tampa Bay, they're for real. They beat up on Bum Phillips' New Orleans Saints. It was Chicago over New England 26-13. Pittsburgh over the Chiefs 35-14. Steelers now going to 4-1. Cincinnati had a tough time with Frank Cush's Colts. Finally won that one 20-17. Mike Wood missing a 40-yard field goal in the closing seconds. Theodis Brown, he'll be stopped shy of the first down. Rod Martin is there to hammer him. Gene, something about Seattle's offense, if you go all the way back to their season opener against the Browns, They have improved their time of possession every single week since that opening game when they had the ball 23.5 minutes against the Browns. Last week against Pittsburgh, they controlled the ball for more than 35 minutes. Today, the exact opposite is true. The Raiders, 25 minutes and some odd seconds. The Seahawks, shy of 15 minutes.
That's a long way of saying if you control a line of scrimmage, you're usually going to win the football game.
Absolutely right. Dornick left side, out of bounds, first down, Seattle. Again, Rod Martin where he has to be.
Well, Jim Zorn has decided to try to take some of the pressure off of his offensive linemen running that delayed draw play. Look at this time of possession. Versus the Browns, 23 minutes. Versus the Oilers, 29 minutes. Broncos, 33. A win against the Steelers, 35. Another win.
And today, it is weighted in favor of the Raiders. 25 minutes to the Seahawks, 14 minutes and 50 seconds. If you don't have the football, you can't get points on the board. 28-7 right now, Raiders. Play action, Zorn to put it up. Largent. He cannot hold on. Largent turned to the outside, realized the ball was going to come over to his left shoulder, simply could not get turned around quick enough. Gene, you played wide receiver for years. That has to be awfully difficult to reorient yourself when you're looking one way. Now you've got to turn around. You're looking at another defensive back closing in on you, and you've got to get your bearing again.
Well, the problem is as soon as you turn your head, you lose the flight of the football, and you have to try to pick it up again. That's the real problem. And that ball comes on you so fast, you just don't have time to react.
Second down and 10.
Here we go now, defense. Come on.
Big draw. Ted Hendricks, take no prisoners. Sack number 4 for the Raiders.
Again, number 55 in the middle, Matt Millen coming up, blitzing. He draws one of the blockers. Ted Hendricks comes from the outside, and there's no one to pick him up. There he is, number 83, the Stork. He's coming on the blitz. The guard has to pick up Matt Millen in the inside. He can't pull to the outside and pick up Hendricks. Hendricks is all alone, has a clear shot to the quarterback.
Third down and 18 now. A loss of 8. The ball spotted on the 17-yard line. Zorn for Largent again. Just tipped away. What a job by Lester Hayes. Got his hand up there right at the last possible moment. Gene, the Seahawks felt if they could possibly win this game, they'd have a legitimate shot at the playoffs because they go home for the next 2 weeks.
Well, they can't do it this way. Jim Zorn did. I guess the only thing he could do is throw the ball up there and hope that Largent could come down with it. But Lester Hayes, man on the spot, playing much better football this year than he did last season.
Jeff West, high hanging bunt, his best of the afternoon, unquestionably. 35 yards, still nothing to write home about. Greg Pruitt, fair catches at the Raiders' 47-yard line. Talking about Seattle's remaining schedule, they go home next week to play the Bears. We're taking off for San Diego to close out the season on January 2nd. End around, yes indeed, Malcolm Barnwell. And right there to close it down is John Harris. Help from Michael Jackson.
Well, the Raiders are not being conservative. They're pulling out all the stops, trying to get the ball, giving the ball to the speedy Malcolm Barnwell. But number 22, Dave Brown, is not fooled at all. He comes up, forces Barnwell back into the inside where the pursuit gets him.
Second down and 7. Marcus Allen hit right at the line of scrimmage. Hello, Tuiasa Sopo.
Someone forgot to block Manu on that play. Because when Allen got there, he was standing there just waiting for him.
Paul Paul Johns, when he left the game on that last series, he left with an injured hand. The X-rays have proven negative. They're taping it right now, and the word is the rookie may return. Say the second-year man out of Tulsa may return.
30 seconds, right?
Third down and 6. Fumble. Allen cannot hold on. Grabs the handle and holds on to the ball. Robert Hardy pounces on it.
Take the quarter, run out.
So again, the Raiders will have to kick the ball away. It's been one whale of a defensive ball game here in the last 14 minutes and 50 seconds. We're winding down. 7 seconds, 6 seconds to play in the third period. It'll be the last play of the third quarter. And it will be. At the end of 3 periods of play, the score at LA Memorial Coliseum, Los Angeles 28, Seattle 7. Action here in Los Angeles. The Raiders will kick it away. Ray Guy standing at his own 30. And again, he sends a wobbly kick downfield. But again, it takes a Raider bounce out of bounds at the 16-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Guy. Doesn't look so happy.
Neither one of the punters are having what you would call a good day.
You suppose it's the smog? I'll tell you, if you can't see the air out here, you don't breathe it. First and 10 at the own 16-yard line. Seattle has got to get moving and in a big hurry. Gene, you were talking about the sun being a factor, working against the Seattle receivers in the third quarter. They will have it all their way now for the next 14 minutes and 51 seconds. Play action, Zorn to put it up. Floats it out to Sherman Smith. He's got it. Fumbles the ball. And it's recovered by Paul Johns. Checked at it is Mike Tice. Mike Tice, second-year tight end out of Maryland, a 41-yard pickup.
Well, Burgess Owens, the free safety, has Sherman Smith. Smith just beats him down the sideline. Jim Zorn just lost the ball over. Now Burgess is going to recover. He's gotten beat. Now he's going to come up and knock this ball away. I think it's Burgess that knocks it away. Right there. Boom. And there's 86, Mike Tice, tight end. Comes over and recovers.
Well, that was Jim Zorn's first completion of the second half. Prior to that 41-yard pickup, Seattle had amassed a grand total of 6 yards in the third quarter. Zorn releases. Theodis Brown, a flag is thrown in. And Brown has a pickup of 5. Mike Davis and Ted Hendricks combine on the stop.
There was a little bumping going on between Lester Hayes, Roger Carr, downfield.
It's going against Seattle. When it rains, it pours. So instead of a pickup of 5, making it second down and 5, it'll be second and 20. Let's listen.
Pass interference, number 87, repeat first down.
I didn't think 9-year veterans made those kind of mistakes.
Well, I don't think that Roger realized the ball had been thrown when he ran into number 37, Lester Hayes. But nonetheless, he got the flag thrown on him.
First and 20. There it is. Roger Carr, his first reception of the afternoon. Lester Hayes right on his back. Carr coming into this ball game, Gene. There you see his numbers. 4 catches for 39 yards.
When he was traded to Seattle, I thought that he would end up being a starter. But he hasn't. Paul Johns, number 85, has managed to keep Roger virtually on the bench except for situations where he comes in as a third receiver or as the fourth receiver.
Second down, short yardage, second and 3. Dornick, the lone setback. He's got the ball. And he has the first down as he spins his way inside the 35, John Robinson. The nose tackle was there to bring him down.
Get out of here.
Dan Dornick had a very good preseason this year. For a fellow who doesn't possess great speed, somehow or other he manages to get that yardage when you think he's going to be trapped. There's a lot of niftiness.
Pete Metzelaars, the rookie out of Wabash, is in at tight end. Steve Largent to the near side. Carr to the far side. Zorn to put it up. Carr again. It's knocked away by Hayes. There's two pretty good athletes going head up.
You are not kidding. Lester Hayes coming up to take that ball away from Roger Carr. Zorn threw that perfectly good timing, threw the ball just as Carr was making his break. But Lester Hayes uses that good acceleration and got up there just to knock it away.
Fireworks at RFK. Mosley has not missed a field goal yet this year, 11 for 11. And Charlie Brown has scored a touchdown in every game of his career. He's a rookie. He got TD number 6. And it is now Dallas 17, the Redskins 10. Second down and 10 here. Zorn, pressure. He's going for it. Largent. Is he screened out? Yes, he is screened out. And they're going to bring it down. That will be the call. Gene, you're shaking your head no way.
Well, I am always for the offensive receiver, except that in this situation, you'll see that Ted Watts, number 20, he really doesn't interfere with the receiver. Well, it's tough to see it on that situation. But Largent does a good job of acting. He tries to go over the top. The defender, Ted Watts, has as much a right to the football as the receiver. There's nothing he can do about that. If anything, I think it should have been interference against Steve Largent, not the other way.
Now you recall back to the first quarter, it was a similar call against Don Dufek, which gave the Raiders a first down at the Seattle 1-yard line. That one covering 31 yards in penalty. It is first and goal, Seattle. Theodis Brown, touchdown. So the Seahawks take advantage of a Raider miscue. 12 minutes, 8 seconds to play. Seattle has created a little blunder.
Theodis carries his ball in for the touchdown. Now all of a sudden the Seahawks are back in the thick of things. We all know that they can put points on the board in a hurry as long as Jim Zorn is out there with his favorite target, Steve Largent.
Norm Johnson on. He has been perfect on the point afters. It's down. And it's no good. Wide to the right. Well, you wonder if that could come back to haunt the Hawks. 12:08 to play in the ball game. Los Angeles by 15 to kick it away for the Seahawks. 12 minutes, 8 seconds to play. Clay Miller, a long way to go to get this one. He's got it at his own 16. And down he goes at the 35. A good return after it appeared that Mike Tice, the tight end, was going to knock him down at the 19. Gregory Johnson on the stop at the 35.
Well, Phil, the Raiders can ill afford to play on offense like they played the last series. They're going to have to get something going. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in a lot of trouble. Seattle's defense has really responded here in the second half. Their offense has started to pick up a little bit. The momentum has shifted. Although Seattle's still down, they sort of had the momentum going that way. Now let's see what the Raiders can do.
Play action. Plunkett will put it up. Marcus Allen's wide open, but he'll not get it to him. Mark Bell and Robert Hardy combined to bring him down. That's the third time Plunkett has been sacked this afternoon.
Well, number 82, Mark Bell, really is a good pass rusher. Comes through there, trips up Plunkett. Plunkett gets a little help, or I should say Mark Bell gets a little help from number 75, Robert Hardy. The defense, since the whistle blew in the second half, they have really, really performed. They're playing the second half like they played the last 2 weeks against Denver and Pittsburgh.
That's a good point. There's the Seattle scoring drive, 84 yards in 6 plays. Otis Brown scoring his first touchdown of 1982. Marcus Allen breaks into the secondary. Look at him spin and go. Ball's down. Seattle has the ball, I believe, or was it down? Oh, look at Keith Butler. They're going to call Allen down. Well, you want to take a look at that one again.
Well, Mano Tuiasosopo comes up with the football, but the whistle had been blown. Raiders running a little delayed trap action. Let's see if we can see if the ball is down. There goes the ball. There goes the ball, but I think the problem was that the whistle was blown before it was knocked loose.
But I don't think Allen was down when the whistle was blown. Third in the bunch. Plunkett. Intercepted. No. John Harris. In and out. They were looking for Malcolm Barnwell. Keith Butler was back there. So was John Harris.
Well, Jim Plunkett throws his ball directly to number 44, John Harris. The only problem is 53, Keith Butler. Watch this. Butler gets in the way. Trying to get the ball out, I suppose, to Malcolm Barnwell, but it looked as though he was throwing it right for John Harris.
And as we told you, the Seahawks were down to the Steelers last year, 21-3. And they came roaring back to win that game at the Kingdom, 24-21. So Seattle has been in this position before. They're down by 15 points. They'll get the ball back right here at a terrible punt by Ray Guy. Dead at the 35-yard line. Again, Guy very unhappy. A 35-yard punt. 10 minutes, 42 seconds to play. Believe me, this football game is a long way from being over.
We'll take a look at Ray Guy, the Raiders punter. He's not had one of his typical good days. He's had punts of 30, 25, 26, and 35.
Unbelievable.
Seattle hasn't done much better. Matter of fact, they've done a lot worse.
But Jeff West doesn't have nearly the lifetime average that man right there has had over 12 years in this league. First and 10. Zorn. For Largent. Look here. It looked as if Largent, Gene, slowed down. I don't know whether he was trying to lull Lester Hayes into a trotting race and then pouring it on at the end, but he just slowed down.
Well, I can tell you exactly what happened. Steve Largent was not the primary receiver. The Raiders came with the strong safety blitz wide from the outside. Zorn threw the ball the only place that he could. He had his wide receiver Largent going downfield on an up pattern, and he just threw the ball. Largent looked up, saw the ball. It was too late then, but he wasn't expecting it to come his way. There's Jacob Green on the sideline getting some, appears as though maybe ice or something put on his knee. Mark Bell has come in to replace him at the end spot.
Second down and 10 out of the eye. Play action, Zorn rolling. Oh, what a catch. What a catch by the tight end, John Sawyer. Zorn now 10 of 36. 3 of 14 in the second half.
Well, to take some of the pressure off the offensive line, Jim Zorn is using the rollout, moving the pocket to the right, stops, comes all the way back across field. Country Sawyer goes up, leaps up high, and makes a really good catch. Picking up the first down.
A lot of time, 10 minutes even to play on this ball game. Seattle moving. Howie Long jumps from his left defensive end position, and I believe it's going to be against the Raiders. And it is. So it'll be first and 5, Seattle.
number 75, defense, still first down.
Now you take a look at the scoring. It was all Los Angeles, 28-0 until Seattle got on the board with a minute to play in the second period. They scored just a few moments ago on a Theodis Brown touchdown run. That's where we stand. The point after was no good. Theodis Brown, here he is again. And he just puts his head down and barrels right into Burgess Owens.
Well, the Seahawk offense coming alive here in this fourth quarter. They're taking the pressure off Jim Zorn at quarterback. He now has a little more time to throw the ball. They made some adjustments, obviously, in their offensive line play. When Zorn has time to throw that ball, he's as accurate as anybody in the league. And we know that this football team can come from behind. They've done it so many times in the past.
9 minutes, 41 seconds to play. First and 10, Seattle. Here they come. He releases in a hurry. It is Sawyer again. Mike Davis is still not gotten up at the 25-yard line. Zorn doing something there, Gene. He has been unable to do this entire ball game, and that is read the blitz from the Raiders. He read it perfectly.
Well, he certainly did, and he got rid of the football in a hurry. And he got it to sort of a forgotten man, number 81, John Sawyer, who was a tight end for the last several years until Seattle brought in Mike Tice and this year Pete Metzelar's two big guys. But when it comes to having good hands and running the good routes, neither one of those two can do it any better than John Sawyer.
This should be an interesting situation. Mike Davis is coming out. Kenny Hill, number 48, a second-year man out of Yale, has gone in to replace him. There you see him right in the center of your screen. I'm going to be watching to see if Zorn goes right after Kenny Hill. Appears to be some confusion down there now. Here we go. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left in the ball game. Seattle moving.
Here comes a blitz again. Roger Carr did beat him like a drum. He is wide open. He leaves Lester Hayes in back of him and just shaking his head. Gets the ball at about the 5, goes in for the touchdown. Now that extra point becomes so important. Let's take another look. Ted Hendricks coming in from the right side. Wide open Roger Carr takes it on about the 6, goes in untouched for the touchdown.
Rogers' second reception of the day. His first touchdown as a Seahawk. Norm Johnson from the hold of Zorn. This time he drills it. And we have got ourselves a ball game. 9 minutes, 15 seconds to play. Seattle with 2 touchdowns quickly here in the fourth period. Now trailed 28-19. And again, it is Jimmy Zorn coming alive here in the final 15 minutes. Back with you, it is Norm Johnson set to kick it away for the Seahawks. Down by 8 now with plenty of time left in this ball game. And he finds the crease, sends it down to Clay Montgomery, who has it at the 16-yard line. And he has stood straight up by Bruce Schultz.
Seattle not taking any chances with a deep kickoff, trying to avoid a big run back. Sort of squibbed the ball down there. They get down and do a good job. Number 58, outside linebacker Bruce Schultz, making the tackle. What do you suppose Mr. Zorn is calling?
Holt not ordering a pizza, I'll tell you that. 9:06 to play in this ball game. His team is right back in this. There's Hawkins. He has hit at the line of scrimmage.
Mark Bell, number 82, coming in and disrupting things. Still playing for Jacob Green, who went out with a banged up knee. That scoring drive, 6 plays, 65 yards. Took exactly 1 minute and 27 seconds. 23-yard pass to Roger Carr.
The thing Seattle is doing, Gene, in the fourth quarter is they're not only scoring, but they're taking very little time to do it. And that's a big key because they need the ball. Marcus Allen, Tuiasa Sopo, first man to him. And I don't know what Mike McCormick told his defensive unit at halftime, but whatever he told them, it is working to perfection against the Raiders.
Well, Phil, the second half for the Raiders is reminiscent of what happened to them in Cincinnati. The first half, their offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage. In the second half, they simply haven't done it. Seattle's defense is taking it to them. And they end up in this situation, 3rd and about 7. This is exactly where Seattle wants the Raiders.
Now, this is a big, big play because Seattle gets the ball right back and Plunkett doesn't complete it. They'll take a shot. First down, Raiders. A flag goes down. A flag is down in the offensive backfield of Los Angeles. Bruce Schultz and Keith Butler combine on the stop. It is against Los Angeles. Illegal receiver downfield. A big, big whistle against Los Angeles. Gene, in the second half, we were talking about the Seattle defense. The Raiders have totaled exactly 16 yards in the second half. 1-6. First half, Los Angeles, 187. An incredible turnabout.
Downfield, number 50, offense. Repeat, 3rd down.
Well, they caught Dave Dalby, the center, downfield, which negates a really terrific play on the part of Jim Plunkett, scrambling out, getting the ball to Marcus Allen.
Well, after 11 years as a center, maybe he just decided he wanted to try wide receiver. He was in the wrong spot at the wrong time if you were the Raiders. 3rd and 19. Plunkett. Mark Bell has him. Down he goes. A flag is down. Intentional grounding, I am sure.
Well, I am really surprised because Frank Hawkins almost caught the football.
Now Flores has to be wondering what is happening to my football team.
Number 27, Frank Hawkins, almost caught the football. It's hard to believe that they call intentional grounding. Jim Plunkett drops back, moves the pocket out to the right side, trying to buy some time. He's going to turn around, try to go the other way. There won't be anything there. In desperation, he throws the ball. I think maybe they could have blown the ball dead because his knee was on the ground.
He was on the ground.
But that's not intentional grounding.
It not only is a loss of yardage.
Loss of down, 4th down.
Now Gordon McCarter told you just what I was about to tell you. It is also a loss of down. 4th down and 27. Seattle should have superb field position. Flag is down. Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker on Kerry Justin. Oh, look at this. It will all be negated. Now, we've seen just about everything today.
We have seen it all. You can see Mike McCormick over arguing with the official. Kerry Justin, number 26, gets blocked. Well, I was going to say he gets blocked, but actually Frank Hawkins missed him. I thought that Hawkins had pushed him into the kicker. Here's Paul Johns, who's running back this punt. But the flag was down, and I think the Raider defense had relaxed because they knew that the flags were down.
Now there is still a big, big discussion taking place inside the 10-yard line. Now let's listen to Gordon McCarter figure this one out.
Personal foul, running into the kicker, number 20, defense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 45, offense. The penalty's nullified, repeat, 4th down.
Now, just when I said we have seen it all, that's incredible. go back to point zero. Ray Guy will kick it away again. James Davis, cornerback, a backup cornerback, was whistled for the Raiders. So Ray Guy will have another shot at it. 7 minutes, 19 seconds left in this ball game. A flag is down again. Now, hold on a minute. No, it's not. Official was throwing his flag to another official. All right. The word is James Davis has been ejected from the ball game. Is a Ray Guy punt. Paul Johns at the 39. And he is out of bounds to stop the clock. A 50-yard punt. There is the real Ray Guy. A return of 5 yards. Seattle will have the ball at their own 45-yard line, 55 yards away from getting right back into the thick of this one. Seattle trailing by 8 with 7:07 to play. Started out to be a rout by the Los Angeles Raiders, has turned into a whale of a ball game. Seattle now down by 8. 2 quick touchdowns here in the 4th period, and they got the ball again. In and out of the hands of John Sawyer. Well, I have seen more dropped passes today, Gene, by Seahawk wide receivers, I'll bet you, that I've seen all year.
You're exactly right. And this fellow, number 81, John Sawyer, will not drop more than 1 or 2 passes in an entire season. I think he just got a little anxious that time, took his eye off the ball before he actually caught it because he was looking at that green he had in front of him up the field.
Now there are no more undefeated teams left in the pro ranks. Dallas over the Redskins, as you just saw, 24-10 Cowboys. 2nd and 10. Here they come. Sawyer, does he have it? I think he's got it. He does. Rod Martin, I believe, is challenging the official as to whether that ball skipped into his hand.
I don't think he did. I think he just went down and made a really super catch.
The Hawks going into their 2-minute offense. Overthrows Sawyer. Matt Millen defending. That's the play. 4th down, 3 yards to go.
It's an audible. He's changing the play.
Seahawks a pickup of 27 for Seattle.
Seattle certainly knows how to come back. Take a look at the Raider defensive secondary. Dan Dornick is going to come out of the backfield, catch this pass. Watch the nice move he makes here. Goes back to the inside, cutting behind, number 23, Otis McKinney. Jim Zorn changed that play at the line of scrimmage. He saw a blitz coming. Changed the play, held in his guys on the right side to get more protection, allowing him the time to get the ball out for Dan Dornick.
Zorn, 1st and 10. Look here, Carr. He had him and overthrew him. He had him and simply overthrew him. And he knows it.
By about a foot, but they make it exciting, don't they?
That's the name of the game in the Emerald City. Pete Metzelaars, the tight end, comes in for Mike Tice. 2nd down and 10. The clock stopped with 5:43 to play.
Now, Mike, John Sawyer's checked back into the game, so there are 2 tight ends in.
Second and 10. And the man he was looking for was Sawyer, but again, he threw over the wrong shoulder, or Sawyer turned the wrong way.
They brought John Sawyer in instead of one of the running backs. He's got the hot hand. Zorn trying to get the ball to him. A problem in this situation is that John Sawyer has done an awful lot of running, and you get a little tired. Start breathing a little heavy, you go out, then you start running out for another pass.
For Seattle. On 3rd and 10. Oh, look here. Dornick again. Oh, he had some big catches. He is very close to the first down. Jeff Barnes, who backs up Rod Martin on the right side, is there to bring him down.
It's going to be about a yard and a half shy.
And here's a good call by McCormick. Bring on Norm Johnson. Let him get the chip shot, or what should be a chip shot now. His first field goal attempt of the day. He was 3 for 3 a week ago against the Bengals, against the Steelers in Seattle. This one will be from 30 yards out. The Seahawks down by 8. They would need a field goal anyway. Perfect. The stage is set for a shootout here in the City of Angels. Hard pass from Zorn to Roger Carr. And now a 30-yard field goal by Norm Johnson. And suddenly the Hawks had scored 16 points in just a little more than 10 minutes of football in the final quarter. That is where we stand. 28-23 Los Angeles. 4:51 to play. And we're set to go as Johnson again tries to find the seam. And look at that. Greg Pruitt hit immediately by Mike Tice, out of bounds. Inside their own 30-yard line is where Jim Plunkett and company will start. Boy, that's a lot different looking Mike McCormick than we saw about a half hour ago.
Well, he's getting his troops pumped up, but I don't think he has to work too hard. They're awfully excited now. They have a chance to win this football game. Their defense continues to play the way they've played so far in the second half. The Raiders are in for a lot of trouble. Let's see what Jim Plunkett can do. The fans here in L.A. are really trying to get the Raiders going.
Play action, Plunkett to the airway. Christensen, the tight end. First down at the 40. The Raiders, with that 11-yard pickup to Christensen, now have 27 total yards in the second half. 27. That should tell you something about this Seahawk defense. And that guy right there, quite frankly, can't believe it. Cliff Branch goes wide to the left. Malcolm Barnwell comes to the bottom of the screen. First and 10, Los Angeles. Marcus Allen hit at the line of scrimmage. Tuiasa Sopo and Robert Hardy combine on the stop. The clock continues to run. We're inside 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Well, regardless of how you do it, a win is a win, and I think that's the main thing on the Raiders' minds right now. Jim Plunkett probably saying to his guys in the huddle, let's settle down, do as we did in the first half, control the line of scrimmage, go away from here with a victory. That's the only thing that counts.
Second down and 8. Again, Marcus spins and turns his way across the 45. Jeff Bryant, rookie out of Clemson, is there to haul him down.
Well, Bill, when Marcus Allen runs that football with his style of moving around, shifting and turning and so forth, sometimes it's a little dangerous. He almost loses the football in this play. There you can see it almost pops out, gets his left hand right over the nose of it, hangs on to it.
The Raiders at halftime, Gene, had 12 first downs. They have 14 now total.
Well, give credit to the Seattle defense. They have played super defense in the second half. Against Denver and Pittsburgh, they were terrific, shutting out Pittsburgh last week. Second half today, they've just been fantastic. First half, didn't hear much from them.
Gene, what happens to a ball club that takes a big, big lead like the Raiders did today, like the Chargers did in the first half 2 weeks?
The lead, if this game is not over by any means, Seattle gets their hands back on the football, they can be in trouble.
Oh, they'll get it. They'll get it. He's Butler. Look at that defensive unit. That's the 5th time Seattle has sacked Plunkett today. Coming into this ball game, Plunkett had been on his back only 8 times.
But Seattle did it in an unusual way. They're not a blitzing football team. 53 coming from the left side of your screen. Keith Butler comes on the blitz. That's something that they don't do very often. They're usually a conservative team on defense. They change up, they come with the blitz, and get the sack.
Flags go down. Offside against Seattle. Fair catch by Paul Johns at the 29-yard line. So the decision the Raiders will make is, do they give Seattle the ball right there, or do they take the 5-yard penalty and kick it again? I have to believe they're going to punt it again. Ray Guy, my friends, can do better than that. A 35-yard kick. His previous kick a few moments ago was 50 yards. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play. At Mile High Stadium in Denver, the Atlanta Falcons have defeated the Broncos 34-27. What a wild one they had going on at Mile High.
Offside, number 45, defense, repeat 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and 9. And again, Ray Guy will put his toe to the ball. The lone safety, Paul Johns. And he sails it. Johns, fair catch at the 20. He's got it. A 39-yard punt, no return. 2 minutes, 28 seconds to play. Let's go to New York and Len Berman. Thank you, Lenny. There's a long catch here by Roger Carr. Oh, my golly. He was covered about as well as you can cover a receiver, and Carr simply took the carom, hauled it in, a gain of 50 yards. And Seattle has a first down at the Raiders' 30-yard line. Oh, boy. Timeout on the play.
Well, Roger Carr is covered by 2 men, including number 36, Mike Davis. And I think Mike Davis, you'll see him on the inside, number 36, he actually hits the football. There it goes. Carom's right off of him, right into number 87's hand, Roger Carr. Well, actually, he did touch the ball. He went up, missed the ball, came right into Carr's hands.
Now here comes another one of those fantastic finishes.
John Madden and Kenny Stabler must come up with a touchdown play to beat Miami. Oakland trails by 5 as Stabler drops back. Nothing looks very promising. Stabler's being chased. He starts to run. He flings the ball forward as he falls. And Clarence Davis makes an unbelievable grab in the end zone for a 28-26 Raider victory.
Well, Jim Zorn drops back. He throws this ball to Roger Carr, number 87. Really just a Hail Mary because he was well covered. You'll see Mike Davis goes up for the interception. Ball goes right through his arms. Roger Carr has the presence of mind not to look for a deflection. Catches the football, comes up with a big, big play for the Seahawks.
A pickup of 50 yards. Zorn 7 out of his last 8 passes. First and 10 at the Raiders' 30-yard line. To Walker. Picked off. Picked off by Ferguson. The Raiders are going crazy on the near sideline. Now this one's not over yet. I'll tell you that right now. Owens has the interception. The Raiders have the ball at their own 3-yard line with a minute 54 seconds to play. The way this game started, Marcus Allen, a 7-yard, 2-yard run. Kenny King, a 1-yard run, gave the Raiders a 14-0 lead. Rod Martin came on with a 39-yard interception of a Jim Zorn pass. That made it 21-zip. And then Marcus Allen went loose again, 53 yards down the center of the field to the 3-yard line. He capped his own huge game with a 3-yard touchdown run. Zorn came back with a touchdown pass to Largent. In the second half, the Otis Brown, a 3-yard run. Zorn to Roger Carr in the 4th period. And Johnson a 30-yard field goal with 4:51 to play, and that is where we stand. It is 28-23 Raiders with 1:40 to play, and the clock is turning.
Well, Jim Zorn went to the well once a little too often in that situation. Didn't have a man open, but he didn't have a man open on that prior reception by Roger Carr either. Tried to do the same thing, but the result was just the opposite. Burgess Owens comes up with the interception.
Marcus Allen, 148 yards today on 21 carries. He had a run of 53 yards and 31 yards. Hawkins stopped at the 8-yard line. And McCormick wants a timeout immediately as Robert Hardy brings him down. Clock stops with 1:06 to play.
Well, if Seattle can hold here, force the Raiders to punt. They've done it before. There's still some life. Still life left for the Seahawks. A minute and 6 to go. The entire game, the defense has played that way here in the second half. Offense hadn't done a bad job. But again, Jim Zorn throwing this ball up. There's Burgess Owens, 44, coming over, picking it off. Had his eyes on it all the way. Jim Zorn, I don't think he even saw Burgess.
Raiders now with two tight ends, Todd Christensen and Derek Ramsey. On 3rd and 5. Marcus Allen. And I believe he has the first down.
It's going to be very close. Well, Marcus indicates that he made it.
I think he did. A first down. That's just about good. Only one timeout left for the Seahawks. And if the Raiders can just hold on to the ball, they'll walk out of here with their 4th victory of the season.
Well, when your back is against the wall, you go to your strengths, right? Student body right. Marcus Allen, first down.
24 carries, 156 yards for the rookie. Too small, not quick enough. That was the wrap on this guy. Oh. And Seattle will use its last timeout. Clock stops with 30 seconds to play. Coordinating producer of football is Ted. Now this should just about do it. The Seahawks will not be able to stop the clock again. And Plunkett goes right down on one knee. Our spotters today, Shep Goldberg, Ed Wisniewski, our official scorer, Dennis Mnuchin. And the clock will tick down. The Seahawks are already starting to walk towards the tunnel, as are the Raiders. That'll just about do it. So the Seattle Seahawks come on with an incredible 4th quarter. 16 points in the final 15 minutes. And they were going for what would have been perhaps the winning touchdown when Jim Zorn found one of the guys in the black jersey. That's it. The final score. The Raiders 28.